Hello and welcome to the Comic Cave. I'm Ramsey, aka Captain Away, and today I'm looking at the third and final volume of Batman/Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2019. If you're here watching this video, then you've hopefully already watched my reviews for the other two crazy crossovers, featuring everyone's favorite anthropomorphic cartoon turtles and crazy rich guy that dresses up like a bat. If you didn't, you can click up here to get started on the first one. Or hopefully you've at least read the first two volumes. And hey, maybe you've read this volume too. No reason not to read the comics first. Reading is lit! Anyway, there isn't much more to say that I haven't already said for the other videos as far as introductions go. As with both the past two series, the creative team on this one is TWC, as I like to call them. That's James Tynion IV, Freddie E. Williams II, and Jeremy Colwell. Not James Colwell like I said last week for some reason. Sorry about that, JC. But this time, the trio are joined by OG TMNT creator Kevin Eastman himself for further rock and roll fun times, with the man from the East supplying some of the art alongside Williams' own pencils to really give us some great throwbacks to the Mirage Studio days of the TMNT comic. And really, what more do you need to know than all that? So let's jump into some rocket-powered low-riding hot rods and head into Dimension X, because it's time to bring this totally tubular turtle trilogy to an end and take this away. The comic opens on a city with a scary red sky and crazy lightning. Batman stands there watching it all while talking about the storm and how he had a dream, like his name is Black Lightning or something. Ha, that's a joke you guys don't get because none of you have watched my Black Lightning reviews. For some reason. You haters. Even though those are some of my favorite videos to work on. Anyway, Batman doesn't have much time for his usual brooding because something's going down at the Natural History Museum. It seems a new gang is in town called the Smile Gang, which seems to consist of, Harley Quinn in a cool new samurai outfit, and her 4 hyenas. That's 2 more than the usual number of hyenas. Oh, and there also seems to be Croc cosplaying as Bebop, Clayface causing as Rocksteady, and, this guy. He's there too. And so is Commissioner Gordon, who's there to take out someone called the Laughing Man. Only the Laughing Man seems to have already taken out Gordon's men, and he attacks Gordon, revealing that he is, the Joker cosplaying as Shredder? Or Shredder cosplaying as Joker? I'm not sure which that's supposed to be. Either way, looks pretty cool, honestly. Before Laffy over there can get his kill on, Batman shows up to spoil his fun, just like always. Laughing Man's not too worried about the bat, but he should be, because it looks like he didn't come alone. Wait a minute, that's no Robin. Yo, it's the Green Machine, gonna rock the town without being seen. Have you ever seen a turtle get down? Well, you're about to, because these even more ninja-like than normal Ninja Turtles are here to put a stop to the Smile Clan, and make peace with Harley's hyenas with a piece of pizza. Pizza is the path to peace. I mean, it worked on Batman in the first series. Oh, hey, looks like the gold guy is Deadshot. That's cool, I guess. The Laughing Man uses a super strange space rock that kinda looks like the funk to try and bash in Batman's skull, which seems to knock a little of the funk out of Batman's head, as it allows him to suddenly see the Joker inside the Laughing Man. Like, literally, he sees him as the Joker. Batman's confusion gives the Smile Clan a chance to get away, so the heroes all return home to the Batcave. Turtle Cave? But Turtle Cave. Birdle Cave. Whatever you call it, here in this weird mixed up universe, it's under Wayne Enterprises. And apparently they've made a deal with Lucius Fox where they buy pizza, he pays for it, and then has it sent down the garbage chute to their waiting 3-fingered hands. Sweet deal. We also see Master Splinter has taken over the role of Alfred Pennyworth, including wearing a tux. Really, Splinter? A tux? Are you a rat, or are you a penguin? Or are you a really penguin-y rat? In this mixed up universe, Splinter considers Batman to be a son, meaning the Turtles consider him to be one of their brothers. It seems that in this timeline we find ourselves in, Bruce's parents bought him a bowl of turtles that he named after Renaissance artists, but at the same time, Joe Chill was stealing a delivery truck full of mutagen in a nearby alleyway. When he comes flying out of the alleyway in the truck, he runs over Bruce's parents, killing them. brutal and messed up AF. Before being killed, Bruce's dad pushed him out of harm's way, saving Bruce but causing him to drop his new pet turtles down the sewer, where Splinter finds both them and Bruce and raises them all, presumably in much the same manner as we usually see from the TMNT, living life much as you might expect until today, when their cozy little sewer cave home gets an unexpected visitor, another turtle in black and white. Say what? The Noir Turtle fights everyone gathered there, and despite their combined numbers and ability, meaning they should easily be able to defeat him, he has the clear advantage. But he's not even there to fight. As it turns out, this is Raph from the original TMNT series, and he explains what he's doing here, mainly by recapping the original TMNT origin story under some actual Eastman art for extra authenticity. As a huge TMNT fan, can I just take a moment to totally geek out over how freaking awesome this comic inside a comic moment is? Okay, I'm good. Mirage Raph's story continues with a time he was out on his own, doing Raph things, and the sky suddenly became red and full of lightning, just like we saw at the beginning. Distracted by this, he's captured and wakes up to find himself locked into a machine by none other than the Mo-effing Anti-Monitor, yo. With a brain in his stomach. Ew. The brain is, of course, Krang, a villain from Dimension X created for the 1980s cartoon series, but most likely based on the alien race the Utrom, as the classic comic Turtles point out here. He wouldn't really appear again as a villain in Turtles media until IDW's Turtles comic, though he would make a cameo as a whiny Utrom in the 2003 animated series, and the Utroms themselves would essentially be named the Krangs in the 2012 CGI animated series. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but you get the idea. The Anti-Monitor, which Krang claims to have taken over, is the primary villain of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the monumental 1985 series from DC that literally rewrote history for the entire DC universe and killed off a massive amount of characters. Yes, I have been mentioning it a lot, and yes, I will certainly continue to mention it a lot because of how important it is. And yes, I probably should just cover it so I don't have to explain it each time, but come on, it's a lot of comic to cover. Also, judging from my past views, you guys don't really care too much about old comics anyway, so you probably wouldn't watch it. Anti-Krangator here calls the Mirage universe the progenitor universe of the TMNT multiverse, possibly suggesting that all TMNT adaptations exist within the same multiverse, and that all actions taken in the first universe affects what happens in the remaining universes. With the new power he has from the Anti-Monitor, Krang could conquer all the Turtle universes, but he wants more than just that. He wants the DC universe too, and so he's also captured Batman. If progenitor universes are what he wants, I don't fully understand why Krang has what seems to be a 70s looking bats. I wanted first appearance Batman with his adorable purple gloves. Where's that guy? Not one who looks like he fell out of the Brave and the Bold cartoon. Batman throws a wrench in Krang's plan by escaping with the Turtles. He was able to do this because he could pick the lock on his restraints thanks to an old Houdini trick of hiding a lockpick in the skin of his hand, which he got to despite the fact that, as Donnie points out, he's wearing gloves. Silly turtle, logic can't stop the Batman. But I guess robots can, because a bunch of Krang's robot armies show up to keep them all from escaping. Raph alone manages to get away, partially with the help of a mother box Krang stole that they then stole from Krang. It's a sort of teleportation device if you're not sure what that is. I know there's more to it than that, but let's leave it at that. The device allows Mirage Raph to escape Krang, merging the TMNT universe with the DC universe, and come visit the characters in their new mixed-up home of New Gotham City. Everyone's story told, the Turtles start to remember their history, and so to help them remember more, and help restore some order to the universe, they go to get others to help them remember too. They apparently decide to start with the beginning of the alphabet, helping both April and Alfred recover their memories when the Turtle rescue April from the Smile Clan and she instantly recognizes them. And Batman returns home to an abandoned Wayne Manor to find Alfred with a great big bushy beard. With everyone's memories coming back and finally dressing back up as themselves, they then go straight to waking up Oroku Saki himself, better known as the Shredder, giving us a chance to dive deeper into something just barely attempted in the previous story, and that is to have Shredder working alongside the heroes of the story. I love it. While Shredder works restoring the Foot Clan and tearing down the Smile Clan's various hideouts, the Turtles face off with the Laughing Man himself before he can kill new Gotham PD rookie cop Casey Jones, who, thanks to April, remembers who he is well enough to come screaming into the fight with his favorite catchphrase of Goongala. What's a Goongala? With most of the major players' memories restored, the team takes the rather insane plan of restoring the Laughing Man's memory, which they attempt to do by bringing him to Ace Chemical. In a somewhat ironic twist of the classic standoff, the good guys have kidnapped and chained up those crossovered members of his Smile Clan as bait. After a brief fight, Laffy is knocked into a great big vat of chemicals, because of course he is, and comes out as the Joker. However, unlike Shredder, who agrees that Krangatory is too dangerous to allow to continue, Joker loves the chaos of Krang's army and uses the Mother Box to open a portal to Krang's base and bring his army on through. Batman continues to fight the reborn Joker until Joker makes a Death of the Family reference, and it looks like Bats can't quite take a reminder of the time Robin died. Well, the time a Robin died. Well, the first time a Robin died. Anyway, Batman does the very un-Batman thing of running away, but the Turtles don't have time for Gotham motions and jump through the Mother Box's portal and into Krang's lair. There, they free their counterparts in the classic Batman so they can start working together to bring an end to Krang's mad plan to rewrite the multiverse into one of his creation. But just in case there weren't enough characters in this mad jumble, there's about to be a bunch more. Because it turns out New 52 Batman wasn't running from something, he was running towards it. This whole comic, since the first page, Batman has been wondering about a family he didn't believe he actually had. But once Joker crowbarred open his memory, he suddenly remembered that Batman has a family of his own. A family of bats. And birds. And whatever the hell a Nightwing is. So everyone joins up at Krang's Ultra Technodrome for the final showdown, while the Mikeys distract Krang with some bat spray paint, which is, probably like the cousin to bat shark repellent or something. Donnie and Batgirl work to send the progenitor heroes back to their home world and start splitting the multiverses again. With his plan failing, the Ultra Technodrome just seems to fall apart and explode in on itself. The combined worlds then start to split back to their own unique separate worlds, forcing everyone to say quick goodbyes and hurry to get back to areas that exist only in their universe so that they make sure they can return to their own worlds as they split back apart. Batman has learned a new lesson about family from this whole experience, and so decides that for once, he should spend a night at home with his family and eat some pizza. Which brings this comic to a close. So once more for the cheap seats, Cowabunga! And on to the breakdown. Now that's what I'm talking about! Finally! A series in this crossover that really makes use of some side characters. I love getting to really spend some time focusing on some different villains, characters getting to play new roles, and having fun with characters like Casey Jones and his Goongala. Whatever a Goongala is. I especially love the moments where Shredder and Splinter are forced to work together and Shredder and Casey Jones are forced to work together. It's a nice touch. But this overwhelming amount of stuff does have its drawbacks as well. The plot is honestly pretty weak, to the point of almost non-existent. There's basically an excuse for a massive crossover and then a bunch of craziness that happens because of that crossover, and not much else going on. It's also weird how Krang's plan of rewriting time to create a universe with him in ultimate control is exactly the Anti-Monitor's plan from Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I'm sure was intended as a reference, but it feels a little limiting even if it does seem like a plan Krang would come up with. It's also weird how they win at the end pretty much just because they say they do. There's no real plan or clever outwitting of the villain, it's more like, well, it's issue 6, looks like we won, see ya. But this is also pretty much what happened in Crisis on Infinite Earths, so maybe also a reference. The second half, in general, feels kind of rushed and not finished, which is seen in the plot problems, the lack of a real resolution, and the way the Bat family is just kind of thrown in there without explanation for non-fans as to who any of these people are. It's kind of like they had a great idea for how to get this going, but no real idea of how to end it, so it just kind of ends. Which, really, I guess has been a problem for all 3 books, so I can't especially fault this one. Which leaves me giving this series a recommendation level of high. If you're not a massive fan of both franchises, you might find yourself kind of lost, especially in the second half, but that doesn't stop this from being a great and fun conclusion to an overall pretty great and fun trilogy. The collected edition gets one Cowabunga! What's there really to say? Of course that's good. As you'd expect, there's once again a large number of alternate covers and a large number of bonus sketch pages to make this another radical read for your shelf. Goongala! Thanks everybody for watching. I'm all done with Batman/TMNT. There is actually one other series that sees the Nickelodeon animated version of the Turtles meet the classic 90s Batman animated version, but I'm not going to cover that comic right now, if ever. Next month is September, which here in the Antiverse is #Spider-Man month. So yeah, I'll be spending the month covering comics from my favorite superhero. Make sure you click that subscribe button to be here for that, and I hope to see you next time, right here in the Comic Cave.